Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa Split Personality Edition.
I was hoping you were going to say that, if not I was. Alright.
So
we're trying to figure out if Toko's multiple personalities are it, or if we're back to our usual Bakua, because I think we just want it to be him.
A little bit.
Okay.
Hangman's Gambit. I don't remember how this works. Oh, I have to shoot words. What?
Split. It's split, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, there's an H. R. Oh. I don't know what the word is.
I have no idea what this could be. Oh, that's right.
L.
Well, because the H is throwing me off. Because S-P-L-I... No. Man, what is it supposed to be?
Is it... I don't know.
Alright, I just need to... Oh, that's a miss? Oh, it tells you when you've...
Oh, you lost like a ton of hearts.
Oh, boy. Oh, schizo.
Oh.
Alright, so they don't make you spell the whole thing out. Okay.
Do those hearts carry through this whole thing?
I think so, but I think you can also get them back.
Now I understand.
Well, I felt dumb on that.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
I wouldn't have thought it would have been schizo.
I don't think
like, I would have thought it would have been the
schizophrenia.
Yeah, I thought it would be the whole thing.
Yeah, it either needed to be split or it needed to be schizophrenia.
Yeah.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
You definitely need more evidence to back that up.
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior.
Her behavior changed.
I got it!
Yeah, see, look, we got half a heart
How
back.
she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Must have hit her head real hard when
I
she
didn't know we were
fainted.
gonna read those, sorry. I can say we just saw this, so...
We did, yeah.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Right, that line kind of gave it away.
Right.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
Wait a second.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Something's still off about this.
I know.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
That's when she said I couldn't keep our promise. I remember that now. But don't worry, never again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
I'm kind of disappointed.
This hardly seems like a case at this point.
Yeah.
Your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
I'm kind of waiting for her to lunge and kill him.
You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Oh boy.
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
That Jill?
What?
Because they didn't know if it was a boy or a girl.
Right.
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
Doesn't make any sense, because it's like, now you've confessed, now you know it was you. Like, that's kind of the end of it.
I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Murderous fiend.
What the fuck is this? Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Whoa.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
I don't know that they say that.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend? Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds!
Yep, that answered it. Case
Just
closed.
kidding.
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
I kind of like her like this, honestly. She's kind of funny.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
I think there's another piece.
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
She was against it.
If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
I swear it's between the two.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder
Someone
in
who's
such a bizarre fashion.
Studied up on Genocide Jack.
Yeah.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me.
Yeah, I agree.
Good. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. I was like, status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Nope. Wait, was that it? Okay, I just have to focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have been the answer. That should prove that what he said isn't quite right. There's only one
but I
thing.
didn't kill anyone.
You say that.
I think
but
it's
do
the
you
one
really
where
expect
Byakuya was
us to
talking.
Yeah.
When you compare your past murders to this incident,
This is
the
it.
modus operandi matches.
It doesn't. It's not knives.
Are
Right.
the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Because it was the extension cord, not those
Yeah.
I
scissors.
think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
All right. Yeah, because there was just one wound. Yeah, look at all. I didn't even notice that. Look at all the wounds.
Yeah, but she uses those scissors.
And she
it's
uses
right there.
scissors.
The scissors used in the murder were apparently custom made with each pair left at each murder scene.
This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
The number of wounds and the scissors. Wait, there's one. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach.
That's it.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way.
Oh, they all have the same amount of knives or scissors in the same spots. Their chest, hands, and head.
Yep.
According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
The only reason I put that out of my head is I was like, well, she probably doesn't have access to those scissors.
But they could be in the warehouse. Not the same type of scissors, but I'm sure you can get scissors.
Right. Well, and the fact that there were no stab wounds at all.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
She's hung with extension cord.
Right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
No one's eating Italian anymore in this place.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
She was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. and you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
I like that we're Big Mac now.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
All right, for the rest of the game, let's refer to
Calling him Big Mac.
Yeah, he's Big Mac.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at
They
who
were
the
men.
victims were in
Yeah.
each Genocide Jack case.
I didn't
There's
catch
a
that.
pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have... Because Chihiro was her lover.
That was it.
I got it!
Which personality though?
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
In all the
just let
Genocide Jack
Toko
cases,
be her the rest of
all
the game?
victims had something in common.
Kenharada 32. Oh, we already read all this.
Yeah.
There's no end to it. Yeah.
Oh man.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Alright, so I think I have this figured out now. So she confided in Byakuya that she was Genocide Jack, and he used it as an opportunity to frame her, knowing that he could get her to, like, appear, I guess.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
Fan man.
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
We're back on
So
food.
much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly cur!
Fantastic.
Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That's what I said.
That does make some amount of sense. Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
That's fantastic.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
No point.
Fantastic.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you!
Alright, so we're gonna have to tie her up the rest of
Not to
this
mention,
experiment.
I
I was
have
just
no
gonna
clue how to tie
say.
a good knot! So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I would be scared if I was a
what's
dude.
going on anymore.
Right?
Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
No!
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person.
Yeah.
One person who could have copied the Genocide
Yeah.
Jack cases.
Find him. Find him. Find him. Find him.
Where? Oh, he went the wrong way.
There he is. Oh, he looks pissed.
Uh-oh.
Here's my
He's sweating
answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents.
Dun, dun,
Or
dun.
Plus,
Oops.
you already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
There we go.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Oh boy.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
When he spent all his time in the library.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
I actually don't remember that. In the locker rooms, they're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
I mean, that does
Nothing
follow.
strange about that, I'd say.
On
But-
the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. They make it clear to everyone. Oh, wow, they're still getting... truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the, I'm assuming, triangle button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use the flashback as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When is the best time to use it to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. How do I do that?
Down there.
So, you said Byakuya was acting...
There, truth bullets is Y. Where's the flashback? Oh, and hold down on the weak spot. Okay.
Yep.
As a temporary truth bullet later. Okay.
But he was acting weird.
I think you gotta find the weak spot first.
If you're
Right.
presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check
Nope,
the girls'
I missed
locker
it.
room first. There was no time for pointless distractions.
Wasn't
What's
that
so strange
before
about
we knew
that?
who the victim was?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
I don't know. So,
I realized there's a clear contradiction there because it doesn't make sense how he could have known before we'd even found it. That's right. I just couldn't get...
You said Byakuya but he was acting weird.
That's what I was trying to grab. I just... It was slow. I think I have
It
to...
was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me with you.
Alright. Yeah, so we have the temporary truth bullet, but now it's...
Now you have to shoot that.
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body, but he was acting weird.
Ah, I missed.
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's
I don't
unnatural.
understand.
The victim was Chihiro, so of
I think I
course
got
would
it.
You have to
suggest
shoot
there was
his
no
words
time for
again?
What's so strange? You wish you'd taken me with you.
I'm gonna try shooting his words. I thought it might be.
No, it's not
No.
hers.
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found
Yeah,
the body.
no. That's it. Makes me think something weird is going on. That's gotta be it. Oops. There must be a contradiction.
So, you said
Because it says
Byakuya was
before
acting
we found the
kinda
body,
weird
so the
before
fact
we
that
found
it's a
the
girl,
body.
that it was a girl, it doesn't matter.
You have to do it on.
Alright.
The victim
So I have to
was
grab it
Chihiro.
And then
So
use
of
it.
course
and
I would
then use
suggest
it
there
next
was
time
no
around.
time.
Okay.
What's so strange? You wish you'd taken me with you.
Ah, the controls are very fiddly.
Oh, because you're using it on the Xbox.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird, but he was acting weird.
Well, no, I'm using a PlayStation controller with
Oh,
Xbox
sorry.
prompts.
I thought it was the opposite.
Girl's locker. That's a natural reaction.
The
there
victim
you go.
was Chihiro, who was a girl.
That wasn't it either?
Shoot.
I don't understand. No, I really don't understand. Because that's just gonna go around.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird, but he was acting
Oh, I have to use the
weird.
Monokuma file.
Presented with the opportunity
Because I have that.
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro, so of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was
Right.
no time for
How do I
pointless
change truth
distractions.
bullets?
What's so strange?
Hold down the left bumper.
You wish you'd taken me with you.
That didn't work.
Sure didn't. Then. What is that? Like what? Then backslash new? Like.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body, but he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room.
That's a natural reaction for any
I need to
guy.
change the truth bullet is the problem.
victim was
But I need
Chihiro,
I need that one too.
So of course I would suggest
I
we
don't
check
understand.
the girls' locker room first. There was no time for point.
What truth bullet? Left bumper. Or do I not get another one?
I don't think
What's
you
so
get another one.
strange about that?
You wish you'd taken me
There's
with
no
you.
other, because there's no other option.
Do you have to use the Monokuma bullet first, or does that end it?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body, but he was acting weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity, that's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
Can you fire
there
on
was no
white?
time for.
Alright, I think we're gonna end it there while we try to figure out what these controls are. I might just switch controllers so that way it actually matches what it's telling me to do. So yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll pick this up next time. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please remember to like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.